How BRICS is quietly dividing ASEAN, and why no one is talking about it. Here's how this quiet fracture could shape the future of Southeast Asia. In this video, I break down what I think it all means for Southeast Asia. In case we have not met, my name is Dato Dr. Ilengo Karupannan, former Malaysian ambassador, 30 years plus in the Malaysian Foreign Service. I have sat in countless ASEAN summits and high-level ASEAN meetings, and I know the concerns of the ASEAN countries and complex dilemmas such as these. We are living in an era of geopolitical fragmentation. On the one hand, you have the US-China competition, which is tearing the world apart with their competition. And on the other hand, you have BRICS expanding, aggressive, offering new choices and a new order. And ASEAN, 10 countries, soon to be 11, sit somewhere in the middle with difficult choices. Let us talk honestly why BRICS is appealing to so many ASEAN member countries. Well, the simple reason is because BRICS offers an alternative. And alternatives is what developing countries like many ASEAN members desire. They want new markets, they want new partners, they want new credit lines. And this is something that BRICS offers. At the same time, there is its sovereignty is respected, it's not lectured. Indonesia is already a full member, and Malaysia, Thailand, and Vietnam have been admitted as partner countries, and their membership is under consideration. The rest, I think, they are hedging and watching quietly. Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim has described BRICS as the new frontier. And for many countries that wants to diversify its partners beyond the West, this frontier looks interesting indeed and promising. But guess what? Not all ASEAN members are aligned on this idea. And this is where the dilemma begins. And now let us examine why this divergence is dangerous. It is dangerous because BRICS just doesn't offer opportunities. It also poses a risk of disunity. And ASEAN operates on the basis of consensus. That is the only way a diverse region such as Southeast Asia has been able to remain united despite all the challenges that it faces, because consensus reduces the tensions and friction among member countries. But in the case of BRICS, when some countries are leaning towards BRICS, when others don't, the consensus starts to crack. If ASEAN members engage BRICS individually, well, the region loses collective power. But if they were to engage BRICS collectively, well, they can set the terms. But right now, there's no collective decision-making on the part of ASEAN. So what if ASEAN does nothing? I mean, if ASEAN just continues as it is doing now, certain members are interested when others are not. Well, let me tell you this. ASEAN will drift slowly, silently, until it can no longer shape its own destiny. Why do I say that? Because remember, BRICS is continuing on its march to expand and is becoming more powerful by the day. ASEAN simply cannot sit doing nothing. The outcome, as I mentioned to you, will be a drift towards irrelevance. So how should ASEAN react or respond to BRICS? Certainly not by rejecting. Well, that would be unrealistic, simply because Indonesia is already a member, and as I have mentioned to you earlier, Malaysia, Thailand, and Vietnam are partner countries within BRICS. So rejecting BRICS is certainly out of the question. On the other hand, accepting BRICS blindly is also not a feasible option. In my mind, the answer is coordination. ASEAN countries need to engage BRICS, not necessarily on the same basis. What I mean is that not every country should have the same position within about BRICS, but they should have a common understanding as to how they see BRICS, and they must have a common framework on how to engage with BRICS. Whether it's Malaysia, which is the chair in 2025, or Philippines in 2026, or any other chair, all the ASEAN chairs have a responsibility to guide the ASEAN grouping on this matter. Why? Because it is not simply a matter of being a pro or against BRICS. It is about whether ASEAN can retain its unity as the major actor in Southeast Asia. In other words, whether ASEAN can preserve its centrality, or whether it is going to allow BRICS to shape ASEAN's geopolitical positions. And then let us not forget the global optics, particularly from Washington, D.C. President Trump has warned that any countries that take up anti-American positions will be slapped with additional punitive tariffs. And to him, BRICS is anti-American. So the American position creates a real dilemma and a threat for ASEAN countries, because all the ASEAN countries depend on the US for their exports and investments. So what now? I think there are three things that ASEAN should do. Number one, first, as I have mentioned earlier, avoid this fragmented approach, which is member countries approaching BRICS on their own individually, because that would make it easy for external powers to pick ASEAN apart. That's what we don't want. Number two, ASEAN will have to somehow have a common position or common understanding or a common framework on how to deal with BRICS. If ASEAN can come up with an outlook on the Indo-Pacific, it may want to think about an outlook on BRICS. And as I have also said earlier, it is not about identical positions, but a common understanding on how to deal with it. And number three, I think it's the most vital, is the signaling part. ASEAN should use this opportunity to signal to the United States and to the rest of the world that by choosing to deal with BRICS is not aligning with them. It is about diversifying their own choices, and this is what ASEAN has been doing all along, diversifying its opportunities and choices. In conclusion, let me just put it to you as clearly as I can. BRICS is actually a serious dilemma for ASEAN. Although it looks very benign, interesting, attractive, but for the grouping as a whole, it is a serious problem. Well, I know the temptation is great to just go along, coast along, with everyday things without really looking into BRICS in detail. But I think that is the wrong thing to do. ASEAN must understand that the real danger here is of disunity creeping within ASEAN and eventually, declining into irrelevance. ASEAN must have a common position on dealing with BRICS, because BRICS is a huge polarizing geopolitical force, and it is forcing the United States to take up positions which may be detrimental to us, and we don't want to find ourselves in more difficult situation than we are in today. So ASEAN must engage with BRICS. If you found this perspective to be interesting, I would invite you to watch another video that I had posted. It is about ASEAN in Kuala Lumpur, what went on behind the scenes with Marco Rubio in town, the bilateral meetings that they had, and the decisions that were taken. So please go watch that, and also another video related to the ASEAN Ministerial Meeting as well. And as usual, please subscribe to this channel, hit the like button, and your comments as well. Thank you very much.